Hi friends, I am not in my music room because I'm downstairs making coffee while my little one, 2-year-old, is sleeping upstairs, so forgive the strange setting. But I had a couple thoughts about the vintage guitar and just the guitar industry as a whole. I recently saw 3 items listed that just made me shake my head. Not only their listing, but the language that accompanied it. The first one was a vintage 63 Fender Stratocaster listed with the saying, only $69,000. The other examples were for newer instruments. One was a new custom shop guitar, new, listed for $60,000. And then that same shop described a new small low wattage combo amplifier as the best grab and go amplifier you can buy, and that amplifier is over $4,000. Now, I'm no economist. I'm a musician, which is the furthest thing from an economist. But I know enough to know that price is driven by what people agree to pay for it. So if someone bought a 63 vintage Strat for $70,000, they can say it's only $69,000. And I also know that there is a certain difference in materials, and scarcity makes prices go up, for sure. So there is going to be expenses and things that are more expensive and things that are less expensive outside of what the public deems it to be. But when I see these listings and the language that accompanies them, a few light bulbs go off that I think as musicians we need to be a little more keen to. And that's the idea that it's in their best interest to sell it for more. So the things that are often driving these costs up and up and up are not from external objective sources. They're from the inside. They're from the inside of the market, right? And the less we are aware of that, the more we normalize it and the more we inflate our own market. Which means, what are the effects of that? Is that musicians are not going to be able to afford instruments, right? Lawyers and doctors and CEOs can afford instruments, right? And those often won't get played. Some of them shouldn't because they're museum pieces, but a lot of them are playable, won't get played, right? Won't get use until that person dies and their estate has to be sold away, right? And I think we need to realize, maybe even on a larger scale outside of music, what we're doing to ourselves, right? Like, if you own a shop and you're driving the price, you probably spend a lot of money on that, right? But the domino effect of you driving up the cost in the long term, in my opinion, is more detrimental to the industry that we love, right? Do we want to hear these sounds? Do we want to hear good music played by good musicians anymore? Or do we just want to, I don't know, have nice things? So that's my thought, and I welcome the comments below. Economists, weigh in, please, because it just seems like at a certain point the shark is eating its own tail, or the snake is eating its own tail, where we have a music industry driving up the price from the inside, discouraging musicians from being able to use the things that make the music we love, which is why we got into music. It just seems so silly. So please weigh in. Sorry for the long non-musical musing, but it was a thought and something I've been thinking about. Take care and cheers. Later.